In this video, I'm going to show the steps needed to differentiate the square root of x, and we can see that this can be written as y equals the square root of x. Now we need to know the following, that you can write the square root of x as x to the power 1/2. Consequently, I can replace this with x to the 1/2. And I'll show that on the next line where we have y equals x to the 1/2. We continue, so we write dy dx equals, we consider this power, which is 1/2, and we bring that down to this position, and we use that to multiply this after the power has 1 subtracted from it, as you can see coming into place now. And here you can see the 1/2 with -1. So we're reducing the power by 1. So I'm going to continue by bringing this to the top of the slide where we can continue now with the calculation. So we can now continue with the calculation by writing down dy dx equals, and we bring the half down and we multiply, and now we're going to perform the calculation on this, which you can see is x to the half minus 1. So this 1/2 has the 1 subtracted, so this will give x to the minus 1/2, as you can see here. This is the x, this is the power of a half, and you can see there's a minus in front of it. So this is x to the minus half, and we get the minus half because of this calculation here. In order to proceed further, we need to know the following, that x to the minus half can be written as 1 divided by x to the positive 1/2. To continue, we can write dy dx equals, and it's going to equal the 1/2 that I've brought down, multiplied, and I'm going to replace this by 1 over x to the positive 1/2, as you can see coming into view now. I'm going to continue by bringing this to the top of the slide so I've more room to perform the rest of the calculations. Let me remind you of the following. The square root of x can be written as x to the 1/2. If you look here, you can see you have x to the 1/2, so I can replace that by the square root of x, and I'll show that on the next line where we have dy dx equals, the 1/2 I've brought down, I'm going to multiply, and I'm now going to write down 1 over the square root of x. In other words, I've replaced this x to the half with the square root of x. Now we can go on to write dy dx equals 1 over 2 the square root of x. And that has been achieved because the 1 times the 1 gives 1, and the 2 times the square root of x gives 2 square root x. So we started off with y equals the square root of x. We differentiated this, and we ended up with dy dx equals 1 over 2 square root of x.